Alright, it has been way too long since I did this last, so we're gonna try this. I don't know if this is gonna work well or not. It's just one of those fine-tuning things. It's gonna take a little bit to me to figure out what kind of settings work and what's not working. So just bear with me here. It's been a while since I've used any of this equipment. So it's going to be a little bit of adjustments and then going back and forth with it and seeing what's working with the levels and which is not. So, for example, the background music. I think put these back up at 10. And I got nothing on my screens already. I gotta love this app. All right, let me see if I can fix this again. There, we got one. We got one of them up. Let's see if I can get the other one back up. There we go. Hello. All right, so this is the new setup. This is way different from what you saw last time. And for the audio, it's kind of a little bit of a Jimmy rig type of thing here. So I have a DJI mic that's going down through into the laptop, through a Stream Deck hub, and then to monitor the audio, I got a Samsung Buds in my ear. This is the most out of whack, unorthodox way of doing this sort of thing, but I can't just completely annihilate my my rig in the other room in my office. So this is what I've got here, and maybe this will work well for when I'm out of races and things like that. Who the hell knows? So basically, what I'm working on now is I'm playing catch up. Again, I'm always playing catch up. I just figure I'll shut this door because the last thing I need is to wake her up. So I got a bit of a scramble in my hands right now. That's what I'm kind of dealing with. I don't know what kind of quality this laptop's going to be able to put out. So this is a first run, first test. We'll see what happens and how it works, if it does work. What I've got going on now is we have only a couple more weeks until a big race. It's a huge thing that Team Associated is putting on in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I haven't been on dirt in a while, actually. Been racing carpet basically the last several months after getting back into this. So I have boxes and boxes and boxes of re-releases still sitting underneath this shelf beneath me here that I haven't touched, unfortunately. So, excuse me. So I have a lot of catching up to do. It is 6:40 where I'm at right now. I don't know where you guys are all at, but if you're watching, that's great. And if you're watching later after this goes up, that's cool too. So what I have today, the first one I'm going to start with, is because this is the one that I've registered to race in the class for the Las Vegas race that Associated is putting on. If I can grab the box here. Okay. So this is the one that I'm going to be doing now. And I have a whole plethora. But we're going to start with this one because I need practice, that. And then there's a couple different choices and options that I can play around with for a couple different things here. I got different options as far as whether I'm going to use the Spectrum remote or if I'm going to stick with my Futaba. And then of course all the different electronics and things that I have in these drawers back here for this build. But hopefully this works, that you've got the spread overhead. Hopefully these are better cameras than what I used on the last one. The last one was Elgato's webcams, which I'll try not to bash Elgato too much. But these, what I have up here and over there is basically two DJI Action 4s. So 2 action cams running in webcam mode. For the time being, that's what I'm going to be using for these. I cannot do more than 1080p when they're in webcam mode, unfortunately, but it's better than nothing. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll switch over, because I have duplicates. I have 2 RC10Ts, I have 2 golds, I have 2 of a whole bunch of different, I even have 2 semis underneath here. So I'll probably do one on a live, kind of taking my time a little bit, talk here and there as I kind of go through these kits. From what I understand, from what I've been reading, the kits are good. Team associated kits are usually really good. But as with anything, there are a couple of small issues seemingly here and there from what I understand. So it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error and seeing where things are not quite right and where they are right. What I have decided, or what I'm trying to decide, I think I'm gonna run the black frame. I did get a red frame, and FedEx did a doozy on this. The box for this got absolutely crushed and destroyed. But I mean, it held up. My only concern is, and I don't know if you can tell with my plethora of everything all over here, it does wobble. So it will, it's not severe, but I need all help I can get. So versus the 10, which doesn't move at all. It's nice and totally flat. So I'm gonna build it on the black. And then the red's gonna be just something that I keep around as, you know, hanging on the shelf on one of my hangers. And then we'll do that way. So this is gonna go off to the side for now because I need more room. When you're running a business and you're trying to do it all in an L shape in a small, what should be a small bedroom, efficiency is key. But even with my efficient methods, I still don't have enough room. So that can go back there, and then we will commence and go back into the deal here. Frame there, and I think I might order another black frame just because. All right, so I had gone through this a little bit, not too in depth. I kind of wanted this to be as blind as possible. So that's basically where I'm at, and what I'm going to be starting with is blind. And we'll see if I can get the frame done tonight. See if I can do, what day of the week is it today? Wednesday? It's like, can I do a car every night for the next couple nights? Don't know, but we're gonna find out. It's a lot of building. I've done it before, but you know. A little bit too much stuff here. I'm a little bit discombobulated right now because I did get a new mat. I was just running off of this mat, and then I decided I needed more space, and I'm not quite sure how I'm feeling about the new one yet. Might work. It's just gonna take some getting used to as to where I'm used to putting my stuff versus where I'm putting my stuff now, I think, which is okay. It's just gonna be a process. I know I needed more room. That was kind of the big thing. Especially when I get a project, and then I also will have another car I'm working on for somebody that needs repair work done or something like that, and then it all gets sort of a little bit messy. So I'm gonna try and bring this down a little bit. And so you can kind of maybe see what I'm working with exactly here. And we'll see how that works. The one issue with these action cams is they don't like to zoom in very close. It's definitely not a macro lens, but hopefully this translates decent. I do have this little cheater lens, but the issue that I was having with this was it does this fisheye effect. So this works really well if I'm getting down really close into something for just that one specific piece, if it's really close to the camera. So it's probably going to be a case of going back and forth between having this on and not having it on, which is fine. So this is kind of a new format for me versus what I'm used to doing with cameras and things like that. So learning experience for sure. And then I might have to make adjustments to the size of these windows and stuff like that, but you know, come along with me as I figure out how and which way I want to do all this mess. All right, so I'm always the type of person who I have to kind of set my stuff around so that I can just kind of have it all organized as best as I can. So you'll see me like putting stuff here and putting stuff there, and you know, and opening bags and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of a little bit all over the place when I do these. So, oh, the dreaded clips. I remember these clips from when I was a kid. The last time I built a classic kit like this was, oh man, I'm trying to think when the last time was I built one of these. How old was I? I wasn't old enough to drive a car, let's put it that way. The last time when I built one of these last. So it'll be a trip down memory lane for me, that's for sure. That one, that one. Yeah, we start getting into a zone here with these. They're building wheels, so that's why these are sitting up here yet. And they're big. The crazy thing about the size of these things is you look at this versus say 10 scale 4-wheel drive buggy tire. So I'm gonna put it on a wheel so that it makes more sense. So you get here we go. Not glued down, but you'll get the idea of the size difference here. So obviously RC10 is going to be a 2-wheel drive. So RC10T 2-wheel drive front tire. But you look at the size of this, okay, versus the 4-wheel drive of a modern RC10. A buggy. And you just go, this thing is huge by comparison. It's just wild how much smaller some of the stuff got for a whole multitude of reasons. But, and the weight too, this feels heavier. But I digress. Okay. I'm gonna need that one, Probably gonna need all of them actually. So we'll see. That's gonna be new. That's the other thing I kind of discovered is back when these were made, because they basically just reproduce these kits all over again, the sizing is not the same. So you would take, you know, these ones, which the 2mm, your standard heck, you know, 2mm Allen, that does nothing in that. It just spins. But if I go one up from that, you know, it's the same kind of thing. So it's actually that. And I'm lucky I had these because I wasn't even thinking, but that's actually a Milwaukee 3/32 is what this is. So I need to buy more wrenches now because of these cars, apparently. Just always keeping things different, and they're always changing stuff. They went from domestic to metric somewhere along the line. So that's fine. All right, so what are we starting off with here? This is gonna be where I start getting not as vocal. So 0.3 ball stud, and I'll start getting really overly paranoid. Is that it? Not even on the cheat sheet. I do have more than one cheat sheet on this kit. I do not. Oh, here's the first omission, I guess. So I wonder if I have one on one of my other sheets. Probably not. 6mm 705. Five. 6/810s. Nope. I keep my my scale view sheets from my other models. I have them on the board back there. I just keep them. So, I mean, I should be able to eyeball 3mm, but the next ones are 0.2. So now we're gonna play this around. Artlist is gonna be cranky. I have to use Artlist because if I don't use Artlist, then I'm gonna get hit with my copyright strikes and all that. So, interesting thing here. So that's funny. So here's the first eye opener, for me anyways. None of this is in metric. Because that is 3/10 of an inch. So these are all in inches. Good to know. All right. So we're all working with inches here now. So I'm wondering if any of my stuff is gonna work. I might be in a world of hurt. Oh my God, I am. I am in a massive world of hurt. This is gonna be bad. I'm gonna have to get out my tools from the toolbox in the garage for these cars. Wow. That's wild. Because literally every single thing that I have, a lot of my tools are team associated tools. A lot of my tools are they're not SAE, they're all metric. I just have these little cheaters from my old Tamiya kits. That's all. Oh, this is gonna be a mess. Let me see if my other kit. Man, I did not see this coming. I should have. But, you know, when you're a kid, 5.5s. Oh, it's gonna be sloppy. The other thing that hurts is I am way late to the party. There's lots of guys that already have their cars done, and they have been practicing, I'm sure. And I'm sitting here just starting my builds. It's awesome. Gonna put some of my for sale items out of my way if I can. So let's see if my my other half here is going to come to my rescue again. I think just have that feeling, because I need to label those. Did have a bearing holder tool. That's a 5.5. That's a 4. That's an 8. I don't think. Nope. And that's going to be too small. So that is not going to be a thing. I'm going to have to get my small drives out. So bear with me for one moment here, if you would please. I will be right back. All right. So I got out the tools from the garage because that's what it's going to take to get this done, which is wild to me, but it's all right. So let's see here.
3, 2, 1.
Got steering knuckles, left and right. Definitely way different from what I'm used to. Way, way, way different. That's all right though. Point 2 in there. This is where you can just the tiny little tedious stuff, you know. That's the other thing I gotta remember to do is if I hold it back over me, you can't see what I'm doing. I can't see what I'm doing anyway because of how tiny this stuff is, so. Still gonna need my cheaters. We're doing through. We're just starting getting those memory flashbacks already. Fit and finish. And now my next, the bane of my existence. Is gonna be these E-clips. These E-clips always, when I was a kid, they drove me nuts, and I guarantee you with having bigger adult hands, they're gonna drive me even more nuts now. Oh man, these things, they drive me nuts. This is definitely one of those pieces that I'm glad is not a thing anymore. I would break them all the time. I would pinch my fingers all the time. It was just, oh. And if you ever install the part wrong and had to take these apart, you're gonna break them. Almost every time, you're gonna break them. I don't know who or why these things were ever a thing, but they drive me absolutely just, oh, I can't. Yep, there we go. And if you lose one, I don't know if they included extras in these kits. I feel like that would have been the right thing to do, but man, these are a bear. They take so much time to screw with. Somebody I'm sure has some other way of doing it, but I just can't. That wasn't too bad. Alright. And then we're going in with one of these set screws, huh? Where the hell's that? Well, I got one. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Now. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. I am in so much trouble, it's not even funny. One of those, I appreciate the authenticity, but I also do not appreciate the authenticity. I do, but I do not. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. Oh, do I even have small enough for this? I might be stuck right now. Let's find out. have one more option. This is a wild place to be looking for them. Because this box, I'll give you some background information on this box. This box, see that number on there, on the top? That is actually the channel number from the crystal chip that I ran the last time I had an RC10. Back before all that stuff. I mean, give you an idea of age. That's what's in there. Is a Novak C2. Novak's been out of business for a while. So, but it just so happens that this entire box, complete with Trinity oil that's probably older than a lot of you guys who are watching this. Low C oils, all this different stuff, and a plethora of very tiny Allen wrenches, which, if memory serves me, were the Allen wrenches that I used when I built the last one more than 20 years ago. So, it is a wild thing. Yep, and that's gonna work. That's too big. I have to find, yep, there we go. There we go. So, because I am not giving up on this, we're going with a set screw from holy crap my childhood. Now, the other thing that I'm kind of looking at here though is they haven't specified thread lock on any of this, which is really strange because you're talking about putting this little tiny guy in there and there's no thread lock on it, and it's on metal and metal. I'm not playing that game. I'm thread locking all of these. That's the last thing I need to do, is not hit these properly, and then bad day. You get one of these pop out. That suck really bad. So we're gonna go in, and then I want to lift this a little bit before I lock it. There we go. All right. Hopefully, now that I've done one, I kind of have an idea of what's going on here. The next one won't take that long to do. It's interesting they didn't choose to put the, I kind of wonder if they just kind of found the old ones and just reprinted them. That wouldn't necessarily surprise me that much. Well, I guess there's no problem in doing that. So, I just don't trust that at all. And I know it's goofy using these, but the last thing I need to do is strip an edge. just don't like the way this looks. I gotta make sure I have this oriented properly. I do not want to have to take this apart. You have no idea how much I do not want to have to take this back apart with these little C-clips and stuff. So. And that's too freaking long. Alright. The C-clips again. I feel like they're very nice compared to the clips I remember. These are all nice and chrome, and I feel like the older clips from days gone by were these really ugly things. They're kind of the other thing that makes me a little bit about these clips is if they're not completely seated in that ridge, then they're not actually grabbing on. So if I do this for you, when you're looking at this little ridge here, I'll get something to point with. When you're looking at this and you've got these clips, come on. Alright, let's be even stupider, shall we? Shadows and stuff. Alright. We're just starting to get really stupid with this. So, on the edge here, if it's not seated into this little tiny ridge perfectly, then the clip is not going to be engaged fully, and you'll think that it's holding it, but it's definitely not holding it. And then it'll be going whatever, and it'll come apart. And then it's just gonna be this will slowly work itself loose, and then you're done. So yeah. And I already did it. I already did it. I mentioned I despise these clips because now I gotta get them off. I gotta get this one back off because I didn't put that other shaft in. So let's see here. See if I can conjure up a better way of getting these off now that I'm a little older. Maybe a hair wiser, but probably not. I don't think I have a good tool for that, to be honest. Actually, full of kit after kit after kit. kind of have to be. All the stupid nonsense that I do. So let's see here. And actually, I wonder if I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone with this. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, so the idea for getting these pains in the butt back off is take a small flathead, squeeze it in there, and oh my goodness. Now, why couldn't I have figured that out when I was a little 10-year-old kid or whatever? Because I was a 10-year-old kid riding his bicycle to the track to try and race. That's why. Okay. That one's going that way. This is this way. And then that way. I love the orientations. I do make mistakes. We all make mistakes. If you say that you've built car after car after car and you've never screwed up a step, you're lying. You're lying. Lying, lying, lying. Get in there. Haha. Okay. And now I have to put the stupid little thing back on. Yeah, man. I think part of my issue too is this particular set of needle nose pliers that I have is magnetic, so it wants to try and grab it and pull it away. There we go. All right, those two are done. Just need to put the set screw into this one. I don't use a lot, but it's got to be enough. Okay. That's those two. Now we're going on to suspension arms left and right. And these photos are not the greatest. Because we are not telling me really anything. Okay. Going with that, I think. Looks about right. And then, what are we doing? 0.25s. Yep. There. It's gonna look something like that. And then this one is the opposite direction. So that one's gonna have to look something like that. This. Now, more of my favorite thing in the world. That wasn't too bad. I'm actually gonna get the hang of these little things. I shouldn't say that because as soon as I say that, I'm gonna drop one. And it's gonna go underneath my table and I'm never gonna find it. When I saw these kits when they came out, and then I noticed that they had spare parts. One of the first things I wanted to go order immediately was more clips. You can imagine what dealing with these clips is like if you were at a track and you were trying to work on something or fix something. Oh my goodness. All right, so that's done. Now we have the tower. I still have this stupid thing on. Okay. Sorry. So we're doing the tower and a whole bunch of nonsense for this one. So let's see here. That way with that and that. By 40 and a half. Goes in there. Yeah, I should know better by now. I shouldn't even try with any of my metric stuff at this point. It's just none of it is actually going to work at all. So I don't even know why I'm even reaching for it. It's just instinct, I guess. My brain just wants to grab it because that's what I'm used to grabbing. So. These are the 3/4. And we're going in the top. Then they want the washer on this one. And probably the big boy. Nope. That's actually really surprising. It does not want to keep playing, huh? Yeah, I wonder what this is. So now I'm gonna have a problem. they changed this around. So here's issue 1. Here's the first manual snafu, I think. Because if I got the front bulkhead facing that way with the 2 on the front, which is 1 on the back, you really can't confuse that. And the way it's oriented with the screws coming through from the back, to flip that. It's all good. That way. Sure why that didn't keep up, but apparently it doesn't keep up. That's a little light that I was trying out that has a nice little convenient mount on the Action 4, but it might not be able to keep up at full brightness. Not sure. It just kind of fills in the light gap, the shadow from this casting all over everything. Something like that. All right, let's try this again. Did I fix that little screw up on my part? Probably. Just brace. This doesn't look like it's directional. All right. And this was going in between, I presume. So we're gonna go that. Through that. If it wants to. All right, put the brace in here. Try to line everything. One. closer. There we go. And now for the dreaded C-clips again. Why? That's why these things give people PTSD. They have to. Okay. Because like that, you think it's on, it's not on. Now it's on. That little tiny fraction of an inch. Not even of an inch, a fraction of a millimeter. You think it's on there because you hear the initial little snap, but nope. Alas, it is not. You have to look at the edge and make sure that that little center part of that clip is inside of the notch. If you do not, you will lose it, and then eventually these shafts will work themselves loose, and then that's it. Not that I have a chance of really winning at this race versus the other guys, but you know, I'm gonna go. Gonna go. Somebody's got to get in everybody's way. So that's how it's gonna be. All right, so I'll start getting some pieces going that actually start to look like it's an actual car instead of just a bunch of nonsense kind of half thrown together. So underneath here, and this is gonna go into the front edge of that plate right there. And these are big. They're really big. That's what I was like. This is why I bought two. Because one of them is going to get absolutely run a lot. And then the other one gets to sit on the shelf in my shop and look pretty. Now I'm gonna cheat. Now I'm gonna cheat. Not all the way, but I can at least take some of the turns out of this. I do have a lot of cars to build in the next few days. So while I would love to just stick to the old-fashioned way of doing things, if I did that, I think my wrist would be gone in short order. But I do not tighten all the way down with that. Never. That's just, you're asking for something to get stripped out. Actually, I'm wondering right now. There it is. Nope. so that probably is the right one. Okay. Okay. It's gonna tease me right off the bat. It's like, aha! You gotta love this. Just a tease. It's literally all that is a tease. 100%. I don't know what the heck is playing now. Let's go. Get away from that if I can. All right. Whoa. You know, I don't like when bags cross over each other. That bothers me. Because I still have stuff from bag A, but it's telling me to go into bag B now. Which is why these mats are an absolute must-have. If you're trying to build without one of these mats, you're gonna have flirting with it because you know, it just there's too many little tiny parts, and trying to keep track of what came out of what bag can tend to be a little bit daunting, especially if you do what I'm probably gonna have to do tonight, which is step away from this and come back tomorrow, because I do have my day job to be considered. Not quite working on this business, but I'm not quite out of the woods yet as far as day-to-day expenses. So, for now, I still have to do work and jobs and stuff. Other jobs, other work. So if you'd like to help me not have to be doing a full-time job and trying to start up this enterprise at the same time, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that BS that everybody else rants about. I have to laugh at it. I never say that in my videos. People tell me, you need to say that, you have to say that. No, it just, I don't know. Feels a little bit tacky to me, I guess. But that's why they have thousands of followers and I have none. I shouldn't say I have none. I have some. There's lots of bots in China that like to follow me. This is my OCD coming out right here. I cannot leave these little burrs, these little plastic burrs on these pieces. I always feel like if I leave them there, then I'm gonna have something catch somewhere. So I always have to round them off or pull them off or just get rid of them in general. All right, so, and it wants me to build turnbuckles, but do you see turnbuckles anywhere? I don't see turnbuckles anywhere. Bag D, bag C. Little custom hop-up thingies that I got. Those I can put up here for later. Those are not a part of the kit. J, I. Oh. Bag B-I, is that what that is? Is that what I was looking for? G, J, F, and K. So I guess in these kits they decided to put all the turnbuckles in one bag to drive you crazy, and we're back to the old school white ones. Yeah. Okay. My trash pile is growing. Where am I at on time here? We can go for a little bit longer. Not too much longer though. Actually, I wonder if that's even gonna work. I think it actually did work. That's surprising. I wish I probably had to simulcast. That's probably the only way I'm going to get that done. I don't TikTok. All right, so we got all these ball cups. They all, from this era, they're all the same. And then as far as the turnbuckles go, did they give me all? Got one that's smaller, one that's medium. And then these two are, the rest are all the same. I think I definitely learned is never eyeball this stuff. Ever. I used to do that. And I was like, oh, this is probably an inch. This is probably X amount of centimeters. That was a mistake. Now the funny thing is that on this manual here, I'm looking at it and I'm going, if you look, one side, right here, one side's closer than the other. So, is that just the way they drew it? Or should I be trying to emulate that? They also did not mark the bias for the threads on these. So, although you can see them on the actual drawing, that's a bit, you know. Now I wonder, it will work on these. That's a shock. I need my other wrench. That's another thing. Of course, I could break these old school thingers out. Losi made these a long time ago. So these were your turnbuckle wrenches from Losi back in the day. These were from my XXX. But some people would argue that they are nicer to work with, but they're not on those. Not for me. No, for me, I need my knockoff hoodie. So. That's crazy though. It's like even this is not going the same as all the other stuff. So I'm almost in a mode of grabbing this with a pair of pliers, even though I don't want to do that because it's like cringy. But it is what it is. I distinctly remember when I was a kid, nobody had explained to me that the threads were backwards. Like nobody had even thought to enter that into my mind. I love how on this specific part they will tell you 13 millimeters. I guess just in case your calipers don't do inches. 6, 5. And I need to look at these threads. Just that, so. That's not even gonna grab that anymore. These white plastic turnbuckles are just always so fragile. They just do not want to do what you want them to do. And it's really nerve-wracking every single time I've ever messed with them. Just like, I'm gonna break these, I'm gonna break them, I'm gonna break them, I'm gonna break them every time. Still too loose. Needs to come way, way, way in. I'm like nowhere close, which is nerve-wracking because it already does not like the amount that I've been putting on it. Depressing stuff here. Ooh. That's the other thing about this is you get, you know, I'm at 12.95. That's probably as good as it's going to get as far as that goes. basically flat. Okay. These that way for that way for that, and then we're going underneath. Is there an actual? Yes, there is. A little spot for that to sit down inside. And that goes over the top like that. And then we're doing the 4. And these all pretty sure identical, yes. It's interesting that these don't insist on having screws in the bottom. These are just fit in like that. I would have expected some sort of a nut on the bottom of that. But that's just me. I will probably call this at the 2-hour mark. We're at 1:41 right now. Just because I do have to get up for work. So. And I'll be back tomorrow doing more of this because like I said, I got a whole bunch of these that I gotta finish. Like way too many. Way too many. I had this one on the inside. Tomorrow should go a lot faster. I got hung up with details like me not having the standard tools. Every single thing, all the tools that I have are for the older, or the newer stuff rather. Don't really deal with the, well obviously I haven't had a re-release in, I haven't messed with any of these older cars in a long time. So this is all definitely a big learning experience here. Servo saber and collar. A lot of people I've been seeing have been putting the metal versions of these on their cars. And I'm sitting here with this. Oh boy. I'm all putting the white plastic in still. And they've got the heavy duty stuff in their camp. But I wanted to start out with what the kit was doing first, and then I'll go from there afterwards. So let's see here. So these are kind of offset because of the different lengths on the other side, so that's interesting. So this goes in here like this, and then we do the short one on that side. And what are we going up through here? Yep. I'm just waiting for something to surprise me. You know, these old kits. Are we doing a washer on this or no? Believe it or not, no. It's behaving. Interesting. So that would be the bind that some people were having issues with, because this plate actually needs to be in the fully extended slot. There's two holes there. You got this hole and the one next to it, and this screw actually needs to be in that hole. So I gotta go backtrack a little bit. Otherwise, and it feels weird because it feels like it's sticking out. Like I feel like it's not anywhere near as stable sticking in that opening versus the other one. But I suppose once you lock down the steering, it's not as bad. Because now that'll go in like that. Interesting thing too is actually do that, and that'll help hold the whole assembly in while you're putting the top half on. So now you got that set like that. And then we come back through here. This should just fall right on top. Just like that. It's almost too easy. Almost. And now see, now there's plenty of clearance there. Whereas before it was making contact with the end of that arm, so. I'm still looking at that washer going, this washer should be somewhere. If I don't see it in the next couple of steps, I'm gonna find somewhere to put it. I don't like it. I don't like it being out like that. I really don't. not a fan. Definitely pitch that. I'm gonna do a couple of these turnbuckles and then that's gonna be it for today. That's for sure. Oh, these things. I really don't like them. They're so flimsy, and that means that this ball cup tool, it works well to get them started, but once I start to get down the shaft a ways, the head is too soft and it will flex off. Just do not, I don't like that. Yep, there it goes. It'll only let you get down so far, and then it checks out. It doesn't want to do any more than that. So I want 49.5 millimeters on these. Which is right there. Basically almost right at the end of the threads. I think I need to find the size of that so I stop tearing these up, even though they're plastic. So it's gonna be really, really small. Which I might have, but they won't be in this room. But I'm gonna call it there. That's been about 2 hours. I'm gonna have to find the proper thing like that. But that's gonna be in the garage, like most of the other tools that I've been having to use today. It's all been my old stuff that's in the garage, which is crazy. So if you did watch, or if you're watching later, I hope you enjoyed it. I have some different weird stuff in my store. It's all brand new stuff. I'm trying to turn the website into something. So if you want to go check it out, the link is there. Maybe you find something you're interested in or curious about or whatever else. If you have ideas about stuff you'd like me to carry or see if I can get or make on the giant beast that is back here, feel free. And that's about all I got right now. My stuff glitching out per usual. This, I thought I was gonna get a lot further tonight, but oh well. Better than nothing. Long way to go. I will be back tomorrow doing more of it after I get done. Probably sometime in the morning, believe it or not, because I work at night. So it's gonna be, I don't know, maybe noonish, give or take. We'll see. But you all have fun doing whatever it is that you're doing. I hope you come back tomorrow. I got a lot of boxes to do. So I'll see you later.